A somber development has unfolded in the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas, as the bodies of 4 deceased hostages have been identified and returned to their families. This news, while providing some closure, also raises questions and concerns about the fate of the remaining hostages and the fragile ceasefire agreement. On Tuesday, the Israeli military named Guy Illouz, a 26-year-old Israeli, and Bipin Joshi, a 23-year-old Nepalese citizen, as 2 of the hostages whose bodies were returned. Their families, along with those of Yossi Sharabi and Daniel Peretz, have now received the devastating news of their loved ones' deaths. The Israel Defense Forces, IDF, revealed that Illouz, a sound technician, was injured and abducted alive during the attack on the Nova Musical Festival in October 2023. He succumbed to his wounds while in Hamas captivity without receiving adequate medical care. Bipin Joshi, an agriculture student, displayed remarkable bravery during an attack on Kibbutz Alumim 2 years ago, saving lives by deflecting a live grenade with his bare hands. The IDF believes Joshi was murdered in captivity during the early months of the war. The Hostages and Missing Families Forum in Israel has expressed relief at the return of these bodies, stating that it brings some comfort to families who have endured agonizing uncertainty. However, they remain resolute in their determination to bring all 24 hostages home. But here's where it gets controversial. Israeli officials have responded to Hamas's failure to hand over the bodies of the remaining 24 hostages by restricting aid to Gaza and delaying the reopening of the Rafah border crossing with Egypt. Israel's defense minister has warned that any delay will be considered a violation of the agreement. Hamas, on the other hand, has stated that locating all the burial sites may take time. And this is the part most people miss. The ceasefire agreement itself acknowledges that Hamas and other Palestinian groups might not be able to locate all the bodies before the deadline. It established a mechanism for exchanging information through mediators and the Red Cross. The Red Cross has warned that the search for human remains could take days or even weeks. As the situation unfolds, fears are growing among Palestinians that this delay could derail the ceasefire. A well-known writer, Taysir Abed, described it as a dangerous test. If the delay persists and Israel refuses to progress with Donald Trump's Gaza peace plan, the issue of the hostages' bodies could potentially ignite a new round of conflict. The ongoing violence in Gaza adds to the concerns, with reports of Israeli drone strikes killing Palestinians in the eastern Gaza City neighborhood of Shijaya and another person east of Khan Yunis. The IDF claims these strikes were in response to suspects crossing the agreed-upon withdrawal line inside Gaza, posing a threat to their troops. This complex and emotional situation leaves many questions unanswered. How will the delay in returning the hostages' bodies impact the ceasefire? Will the peace plan progress as hoped, or will it be derailed by this sensitive issue? And most importantly, what does this mean for the families of the remaining hostages, who continue to live with uncertainty and hope for their loved ones' safe return? These questions and more invite thoughtful discussion and reflection on the fragile nature of peace and the human cost of conflict.